Welcome dear students. This semester we are going to deal with modern English structure and introduction to English speech sounds, and today's topic is what is language. The term language is very vast in connotation. It has many meanings, right? Language can be anything from and everything also. Language can be politics or a matter of politics. Language can be an identity. Language can be what not. Language is everything and anything. So my point is that language is a very broad concept, right? Many linguists have defined the term language in different ways. Different aspects are covered. It has subtlety in its meaning, in rather, what do you call that, in its associations rather, means that language has many associations, language has many meanings, right? Let us go scientifically, or let us think in terms of science. Let us try to put it in a scientific way. That is what we call linguistics, as a scientific study of language. Linguistics is a science devoted to the study of language, not in the method of a layman, not in the method of a common person, but as an expert. So commoners may think that we are sharing. Now think I am sharing with you what I have to say about language, right? So there are other means of sharing also. Suppose I, while going on a road, I can show this symbol. You can understand by this symbol. I can nod my head, right? I can express my approval, disapproval through my gestures, right? There are other means of communication also, but language is the most developed means of communication. Through this means we can tell lies also, right? We have brain, we have 5 sense organs, and with the help of all these properties rather, because human beings are endowed with all these faculties, or gifted with, we are God gifted, we can say that, right? So we have 5 sense organs, right? Which are those 5 sense organs? Yes, which are those 5 sense organs? Can you have a thought? Can you think over it? We have 2 eyes, right? We have 2 ears, right? We have nose, we have tongue, right? And we have skin also. Our skin is also sensitive. We sense something through the skin also. We see the happenings in the globe, happenings for example in a garden. We watch that, right? Birds come, birds fly, like that. We watch that through eyes, means that we get some impression. And for example, I visited a garden yesterday, and I want to narrate the experience of my experience in the garden to my students or to my children at home. Then what will I do? Because I have many impressions, I received many impressions, and I am tempted to express those temptations, and because of that I need to have some expression. So can we say that, friends, that language is a means of expression, self-expression, communication? I want to share myself, my thoughts, my emotions. Is it not like that? So we receive many impressions, and those impressions are to be shared, are to be transferred, are to be communicated to others. So Aristotle rightly said that man is a man because of language, or he termed man as a social animal. Man is a social animal because we share. Don't you think that the animals do not share? Animals also share, but their means of sharing, they are limited. Means that they can have hunger, they can communicate their hunger, they can make various cries, they can make various sounds to communicate danger. But we can talk about any experience which we haven't, because we have the faculty of human brain. We have that capacity. Because of that capacity, we can talk about an experience which we don't actually receive. Right? For example, I never visited America so far, but still I can talk about Americans. That Donald Trump is like this and that. I like Barack Obama. Never I visited Barack Obama. Never I saw him on just television. Do you follow me, friends? My point is that language is a very developed means of communication, and we communicate what we think, what we have in our mind to others through this medium. So, shall we make a definition that language is a medium of communication? Yeah, you can very well say language is a medium of sharing, language is a medium of communication, conveying, right, transferring. So that medium operates through the sense organs. How? Right? For example, as I explained, that we see the things, we watch the things. What are the happenings in the garden, for example, again. Then we hear certain things. Suppose two persons are quarreling on the road, in the middle of the road, and whether I wish or do not wish, I'm hearing them, I'm listening them. They're abusing each other, right? It can be good, bad, whatever you can label it as. So those are different things. But I hear it, right? So hearing is important function of the two ears. We hear many things, and when we hear something, we narrate to others again, we tell to others. So we smell, sometimes good, sometimes bad. We speak out the things, we taste the things through the tongue, right? Suppose you have something very favorite, you like a particular dish, or you like particular sweet dish, then your mouth starts salivating, your mouth starts watering, right? Suppose you like tamarind, or you like some sweet chocolate or anything, suppose, then you make a movement there, right? So testing is important function of tongue. Tongue is an important organ again in many languages. For example, the very word language is derived from the Latin word which means tongue. It refers to tongue. So tongue, we sometimes also say that mind your tongue, means that mind your language, right? Be polite in your speech, something like that. I hope you are following me. And then skin is also, sometimes your skin is sensitive. Sometimes if you go near to a tree, a plant, then you have some itching there, right? Some problem to your skin. So it is sensitivity. So we have how many sense organs? Right? How many sense organs we have? 5 sense organs. Which are they? As I just told you, there are 5 sense organs like eyes, ears, right, nose, tongue and skin. You receive impressions through these organs, and these impressions are to be expressed. You need some medium, you need some tool. So can we say that language is a tool? Right? Language is a tool. Language is a medium of communication. We communicate through language. Suppose I want to share something. I visited Germany, for example, and I want to share my trip into Germany, the impressions, the people over there, the food methods, eating methods you can call, the styles of dressing and other things. So I need, because those are my impressions are to be communicated. So I need some medium. Na? For that medium, language is very essential. That medium is called as language. This is the general understanding of the term language. As I told you, language is a very concept, very complicated, very vast, having many dimensions. It's a multi-dimensional subject. So don't get confused. Let us go step by step. So we understand that we need something to communicate. So language is a tool that helps for communication. Right? We communicate through language, or we call it as a gift. Human beings are called homoloquians. That means talking animals. We are known by the talking capacity. Right? So that babbling is important. Sometimes we babble. Sometimes, suppose you are lonely, you start singing a song. Because man is gifted with that capacity. Man has that capacity, and of course the other animals, they do have this capacity, but to some extent, limited extent. right? Human beings have tremendous potential for communication. Can we say like that? So language in general means a tool that assists you to communicate. I hope you are following. For example, this is the general discussion about language, general things about language. But what is scientifically a language? Right? There are linguists, there are phoneticians, there are many philologists who analyze language, the phenomenon, the human phenomenon that we call as language. There are numerous people who studied language so far, who tried to make it scientific, and that emerge as a branch that we call as linguistics. Linguistics. So linguistics studies the science, the scientific analysis. Linguistics is devoted to the scientific analysis of language. Let us say all aspects of language. Language has many aspects. Language has some systems, grammatical system. I cannot say anything. You are limited by, you are controlled by, you are governed by. Grammar part also. You have certain rules. Suppose somebody, one person comes and he says, I need something for eating, right? But 2-3 people are there, they can't say like that. So you have to differ. So all those shades of meaning are analyzed, studied in linguistics. For example, Edward Sapir, very pioneering figure in the field of linguistics, he wrote one seminal book entitled Language and Introduction to the Study of Speech, long back in 1921, defines the phenomenon of language as a purely human. I just explained that language is a gift to human beings only. Others do not have. So this is what implied by purely human. So it's a human phenomenon, right? Others do not have that faculty, do not have that gift, do not have that capacity, right? Then it is non-instinctive. By non-instinctive, you have various instincts, right? Or that can be called natural desires. Suppose after every 6 hours, I feel hungry, or you also feel hungry. You need to eat something. So that is natural desire. That is natural instinct. So he says that language is non-instinctive, is not natural. Suppose I am speaking for making you understand what is language. Do you think that I am speaking anything? My first statement was language is anything and everything. Even though that, but I have to select certain words. I have to consider the course also that I am teaching to BA third year students. I am teaching the course Modern English Structure, and I am introducing them the English sounds. That is the target. That is my controlling. That is my governing principle rather. Let us say it like that. So I am governed by these aspects in mind. So I am governing that these aspects, what comes in this area, what doesn't come, what is relevant to the topic, what is not relevant to the topic. So all these aspects are to be considered here. Because of that, it is non-instinctive. All of a sudden I am getting up and then speaking from my sleep. Is not the thing like that. It is non-instinctive. Right? I hope you understand. So it is something very complex activity. You have to use your brain. You have to use your other tendency, other capacities rather. And then you can talk like that. You can talk in a scientific way. You can talk in a systematic way. I hope you are following. So non-instinctive implies scientific, implies systematic, implies artificiality. Right? I am now artificially speaking before you. I have prepared for the class and then I am telling you. So this is not natural. This is something artificial. So you can call that non-instinctive means artificial. Do you understand? Do you follow me? So language is a purely human, non-instinct and non-instinctive method. As I told you, that it is a means, a tool, a mode, a medium, something like that. Method. So that is a tool of communicating. What to communicate? ideas, right? We communicate ideas, emotions and desires. That I need something, I convey to my mother, to my wife, to my children, that I need this and this. Desires, emotions, ideas, by means of a system of voluntarily produced symbols. Suppose a Punjabi person is speaking. Do you understand the Punjabi person? Ki gal hai paji? You don't understand because you don't share the system. Sharing is important because you don't have the sounds of that system. So it is a system. He says that by means of a system. There is a system in speech, human speech. All of a sudden you cannot talk about any languages and others do not understand you. You and me share the same system, so you understand me and understand me and I understand you. I hope you are following. So system of voluntarily produced symbols. So what we are doing? We are producing symbols. Now I am speaking. What am I doing now? I am making sound waves. Right? I am creating noises. So can we call that noises as, or cries rather? Animals make cries. We also sometimes cry. There are methods of crying also. Various forms of crying. Noises. This particular sound implies a particular thing. The other sound implies a particular thing. So these are noises. When I am speaking, I am creating a noise. I am creating sound waves. And those sound waves created by me are decoded by you. Are understood by you because you share the same system there. For example, Marathi language has 48 sounds. Right? Hindi has 46 sounds. So Hindi speakers will share the sounds. Marathi speakers will share the sounds. English has 44 sounds. English people will share the 44 sounds. So these noises are interpreted, these noises are understood by means of a system. And those symbols are known to one and all of that particular community, of that particular geographical location or geographical area. Then only we can call it as voluntarily produced symbols. Now these are the symbols I am producing voluntarily. Right? So voluntarily produced symbols. So can we have another word for symbol as signs? Suppose you are going somewhere and there is a traffic signal, right? And the signal, what is signal? It is a symbol. That red implies stop, green implies go, like that. So these are signs. So can we say that language is a sign or language is a system of signs? As Ferdinand de Saussure, another linguist, the father of modern linguistics, he said in his book, A Course in Modern Linguistics, that language is a network of signs. Network of signs. So there are various signs and those signs are understood because we are human beings. We share the same system. Because of that we have a network of interactions. As I told you that Aristotle called man as a social animal because of language only, and that's what it's a network of signs. So I am trying to explain the nature of language through this all. So what is language? Language is a vast subject. Language is a complex system. Language is rather not a monolithic subject. Right? It has a variety of dimensions. It's a multi-dimensional subject. So it is related to sociology. It is related to other sciences, natural, social, politics. Many things are there. So it's a vast phenomenon. But so far we are concerned, we are the students of language and literature. So we study language in a different way. We study it scientifically. There are various branches of linguistics. Like you have phonetics, right? Phonetics, right? You study this general study of human speech sounds. For example, the languages like Marathi, Hindi and English. Let us make a comparison and contrast. English has 44 sounds, whereas Hindi and Marathi, they have 2 sounds added. Right? Hindi 46, Marathi 48. So that way Marathi is a what do you call that, resourceful language. But for example, when there is no sound in a particular language, then there are problems. The same is happening because we are accustomed to, we are habituated to Indian languages, which has a different system, and English has a different system. So that we must differentiate in the coming classes. In this year, we are going to analyze the whole system called language, its features, characteristics, and many aspects. I hope you understand. So there are many other linguists also who have defined the term language in different ways. Noam Chomsky is there. Noam Chomsky defined language further. There are other, Henry Sweet, Otto Esperson. There are many linguists as you number, and they have differently defined the term language. So I hope you understand language is a very broad system. Language is a very useful system, productive system of speech, you can call it. Thank you for the day.